Give the word when you're ready, Phil. What? What's that? Let's go. We've got Phil here and Guy. We're going to do the 11:06 up Norton's, and going to lead out Phil for the first bit. It's going to be interesting. How you did the 11:14 up Norton's then, we think?
Yeah, that's what my thing said when I stopped. We're uploading now, but yeah.
Blistering time. Yeah, that's incredible, man. You don't even look flustered at all.
No, you didn't see me at the top. I recovered quick. But...
You do recover very quick. What's your opinions of Adelaide so far?
I love it here. Yeah, it's real nice. A little too hot. Other than that, I'm all good.
This week's been pretty hot. Just by what I saw just then, I think it's going to be tight.
I'll do my best.
Looking forward to it. All right,
thanks for the help. Appreciate
Thanks.
it. So I want like this is the. You want to be vertical. Yeah. But then how does that stick onto these? It's just the arm.
Effort now, or?
Yeah. Let me out.
You go full gas or you go full KOM?
I'll go as fast as I can.
It's 11:06, isn't it?
Yeah. You want to introduce the climb? You want to be on the video?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, what's the context?
We're just gonna say. What's that? The other side of the road that we're going. I'll just talk and you can follow my lead real quick. You could just give me a couple pacing tips, something like that.
Yeah. Serious pacing tips or trolling pacing tips?
Whatever you want. I've written it twice, so you can. Don't troll. Just definitely save some at the beginning, save some at the middle, save some at the end.
Yeah.
You don't ever want to go too hard at any point.
I think the fans will love this one. Love and hate it.
People have been asking me for.
It'd be good to cross promote on the. You got YouTube, man?
Yeah.
Hate us.
Yeah. But you know what you're saying, like we cross.
Yeah. Good.
It's great to meet you.
I'm going to start with me and then Durianrider, welcome.
Cheers, Phil. Good to have you down under, mate.
Thanks. All right, what do you think? Any tips on this?
Today the conditions will be pretty lucky. It's pretty calm today.
Okay.
You generally want a northwesterly.
I knew you'd say that.
Since last time, but today's calm. I've done it a few times this morning. It's calm. You've got good conditions, so you're lucky. It's not too hot yet. About 23 Celsius. There is a couple of aggressive koalas on the head.
Oh.
They're called drop bears.
Drop bears. Okay. This is a thing you guys make up to make fun of tourists, right? There's no such thing as drop bears.
No, there is. This time of year there is summertime.
I don't believe you. Okay.
So
it's a koala that will drop on you and just bite you in the neck or what?
It's just territorial. Once you're out of their zone, then they drop off, they peel off. But their skin suit's a bit thin, so you might have an issue. But we'll see. If you've got the car, just whacking with a stick.
If I get attacked by a koala on video, worth it. Worth it. So much better than anything else that could happen.
For sure.
All right.
But in terms of technical wise, it's a pretty consistent climb. It's a speed climb. It's fast. It's not steep. This first 400 meters is the steepest.
Okay.
So just keep it even watch. You know what to do. And just launch it.
So we're just listening to Cat Steven. All right. So that's it there, and then just pace it. There's nothing. Yeah, it's okay.
11 minute Jedi Knight unleashing the beast. Pacing as well.
All right. What's your best time on this?
12:57.
All right. I just want to beat you.
There you go. You beat me, then it's worth the trip.
Okay. Thanks, man. Thanks for being on.
Right.
Great.
That's good. Appreciate it.
That was really good.
Another climb you should do is comes off Norton something called Woodlands Way. That's a wall.
I'm not here long enough. I want to do.
How long are you town for?
I leave Saturday.
Phil, Phil for the first bit. It's going to be interesting.
Teamwork. Team YouTube.
That Strava's good fun. So you reckon we're pushing out more watts now than when you were pro, or what? This is the descent of Norton Summit afterwards, and Phil's face was so fresh. Like his physiology, I've never seen anything like it. It was insane. I've seen a lot of people do, high 11s up Norton Summit, some, Giro riders, Tour de France riders, and they've looked gassed. And Phil had zero exertion in his body, in his posture, in his face. And I was like, how the fuck, man, is he riding so much faster as a weekend warrior Strava hitter than he was when he's a world tour professional paid by a team to perform push-out watts? You can see him on my right here. Just incredible. And so people ask me, do you think Phil is on the cookie vitamins? And that's a fair question. That's a fair question, and I put that to Phil. And he got incredibly offended, and said "fuck off," basically. But here's the thing: is again, I don't hate the guy, but it is very, very hypocritical for him to have a clean tattoo on his arm, and for him to openly critique, not even critique, but slander people like Cancellara and say, I think he had a motor in his bike and all this doping stuff, and not just on a little small setup, but in a book. You can Google up Phil Gaimon, Cancellara, stuff like that. So, and Levi Leipheimer and Tommy Danielson, and Phil has aggressively shared his opinion about people, and hey, he's entitled to it. But as soon as someone's put it to him, hey, how are you doing more watts than dope riders, and you're claiming to be clean? How are you doing that? And he gets wildly offended. That's just very hypocritical. It's very bitter, and it doesn't allow for an explanation of how. My question is, how does Phil Gaimon have a FTP of around 455 watts? Even the guy, pun intended, guy who was led out second behind me, he's a gun rider. He's a gun rider. He won a crit recently against Michael Freeberg, who's the Australian champion, and he won a crit on a disc bike, aero disc bike. Just a Chinese frame, and he won the crit. He smashed him. So really incredible effort. So, and guy only lasted maybe another minute after me, and then ping pop. So Phil, he has this incredible motor. I've ridden with Chris Froome hard up climbs, and seen Chris Froome's face fatigued, and he's been shaky on the bike, wobbly. I've ridden with Richie Port up climbs before and seen Richie sweat. Phil wasn't even sweating. He wasn't. I've ridden with Richie Port a couple of times, and back in the Sky days and that little BMC time, and even the other day the Trek stuff, and Richie's sweating. You can see the effort. I could see no effort in Phil other than he's rocking on the saddle. But it was insane. So for me, Phil with the clean tattoo and doing that performance at Norton Summit in front of my own eyes, I'm highly suspicious. I'm highly skeptical. And if Phil is doing that totally natty, then he literally is an insane freak of nature. And look, he just sits so fresh on the bike, like he's ready to do it again. And if I've been I got my first license in racing in '97, and I study physiology, at a personal level, how people hold themselves and how they go over bumps and how they turn their head and what their eyes look like and what their cheeks look like and their calves and their water retention in their stomach or the ankles. And Phil's physiology, he was just, and he was sort of like bone white almost anemic looking upper body, which is what I've seen in some other not to be mentioned named riders who are also doing some crazy stuff in the Tour de France. So it was, I don't know, a lot of different things are there for me. So this is not to hate or trash. This is just to share my honest opinion, and my viewers count on that. So people say, do you think Phil Gaimon is as clean as he claims? In my opinion, I would say definitely not. And if he claims it's just coffee, cookies, and water, and some ramen noodles, $10 a day, pro, I don't know. I'm not a believer. I'm not a believer. How can you push more watts, training less? It doesn't work that way. Name me one professional rider who got booted from the World Tour because they were not good enough, because they were shit basically by World Tour standards, and then they go and train less, and they put out like professional fucking World Tour GC level watts on climb, FTP levels. We're talking FTP. This is fresh legs and stuff like that. Yeah, we're talking FTP. If Phil's FTP would be at least 455, at least. He could go way quicker up Norton's, man. If he had some people to race against and really get in the groove, some music, some charge up, man, that's crazy shit. That's crazy shit. So FTP of 455, super skinny. Super skinny. If you saw someone on the street looking like that and they asked for $5, you'd be like, I'll give you, I don't know, I'm not sure. Just super skinny, super strong, and not even tanned or nothing like that. Just sort of like frail looking, but no fatigue, no sweat at the top of a climb. I've never seen anything like that. I've ridden with Valverde, I've ridden with Froome and Cadell and Lance. I remember riding with Lance Armstrong, and he was sweating. You know what I mean? Like crazy shit. This is 2009 when Lance was back in form. So yeah, I don't know. I would love to know what Phil's secret is. Is it some NASA vitamins in Tijuana? Is it the special cookie dough mixture? I'm not sure what it is, but hey, that's his choice. That's fine. But I think it's it is hypocritical for him to go after Cancellara and Tom Danielson. And Tommy Danielson got Phil the contract. Let's be honest. If it wasn't for Tommy D, I said this in other videos that Tommy D was, the doper who got results. And when you get results, you get UCI points. And when you get UCI points, you have a lot of pull in a team. And you can say, hey, I want my friend to come over here to this team for morale and training partner and such like that. So Tommy D got Phil with the big break in the World Tour. And then for Phil to go and trash Tommy D, that's just really deplorable and disrespectful in my opinion. Just bow out. If you don't want to be in the scene, just bow out and just keep your mouth quiet, because Tommy D put himself out there to get you a job, and then you go and trash him. It's disrespectful. So anyway, that's just my comments and criticisms. And here's another thing. This is fucking crazy. Phil got that bike. That bike is just like a Chinese carbon bike. Nice paint job and stuff like that. And he's only ridden it for a couple of days. He's only ridden it for a couple of days, very short term. So, he's been riding the Cannondale for a couple of years. So he just jumps on a literally brand new bike, and he's fucking mutant level power on it already. For me, it takes me like probably 1,000 or 2,000, or even 5,000 k's to really gel on a bike. And if Phil just gets on a brand new bike and he's fucking launching it, all these interstate travels and international travels, just like fresh as fuck, go to Colombia, a couple of days and then punching out 306 watts for 3 hours at altitude, beating little 50 kilo Colombian riders who are desperate to become pro riders. So it's impressive. It's mutant level. It is highly suspicious, but I would say Phil wants the respect that he wants. Then he should register with the UCI and be on the biological passport again and be open for testing and get onto that program. Otherwise, his credibility, once people start looking at the watts and go, hang on, like you weren't doing these watts back in the day, all it will take is someone like JV to put up or Michael Rasmussen or whatever to put up a post and say, hey, Mr. Clean Cookie, where's your biological passport data? And then it will just start to fold from there. But anyway, I think I'm glad to see Phil on the bike, spread the message, but come on, man, if you're going to run the clean tattoo, you got to fucking walk the talk and be transparent and be open to investigation, be open to criticism, and you can't shut people down just because they're going to disagree with you because you wear the clean tattoo. Just like I've got the vegan tattoo. If someone says, hey Harley, I think you're eating meat, I ain't gonna shut him down and block him or whatever. I'm gonna say, hey, why do you think that? Let's go and do a fucking test or whatever, or you can come and let's put some money on the table. Let's put some money on the table. But yeah, so I think that level of shutting people down because they have some questions is really, it's a Lance Armstrong tactic, and Phil critiques Lance Armstrong, but he's doing the same stuff. So for me, it's just a bunch of projection. And if Lance Armstrong wasn't around, neither would Phil. Lance Armstrong created Jonathan Wouters. Jonathan Wouters created that team. And Tommy D was a Lance Armstrong spin-off. And then he got Phil. So Phil's just basically had a free ride of other people's hard work. And then he's going to go around just trashing them. So again, everyone does that. Then that's what destroys cycling. Destroys any group or any community or any industry. If you go around trashing the very people that helped you or created the community, then that's just fucking dumb, man. That's just really dumb. So anyway, not a hate video, just sharing comments and criticisms, genuinely, not trolling, genuinely, just sharing comments and criticisms. If you don't like doping, then don't make money off people who are doping. Otherwise, you're just as bad as them if you're going to critique them. For me, I don't care if people are taking gear or not. I understand the pressures and stuff like that. But if you're going to get a clean tattoo, then, I'm going to call it out. If you're going to say you missed a clean tattoo and call out Cancellara, and when you're smashing him up climbs, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Rivals to the finish line, so no one wants to take charge until the very last minute. And Viviani, it suited him down to a team hand. He used a lot of his track experience, track craft. In a way, it was similar to how he won that stage in the Victor Harbour. He didn't have to hug the barriers on that.